It's your boy HD. Everybody get up on the dance floor and go, and go, and go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the old to LA. Go crazy like a dum-dum. Eastside homeboy, where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is OOO City. All the way to the bay, hit the bass, feel me. Catch a case cause it's beating up. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make it work it out. Turn the volume up loud. This a draw crowd, make it all shout. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Catch it all in the frenzy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, go, go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. Already all the way from the O to LA. Go, go, go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. All the way from the O to
Okay, so for the last few weeks, I thought I was tripping, but at the end of that, it sounds like a little chopped and screwed is about to happen right there. I thought I was tripping, but I caught it tonight. It drags just a little bit. I said, we getting ready to remix real quick. I thought it was me in the past, but tonight I caught it. It was not me. I think we got a little chopped and screwed trying to peep in there.
Okay, I don't even hear that.
You know, that's my jam, so I pay attention. What's going on, Scoop Nation? It is 8:04, and it is time for us to get this show started. We are so glad that you have decided to go ahead and swipe on in and join us for another great show. We have so much to share with you tonight. We have so much to talk about. We have had good conversation about tonight's topics. So yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. If you are new here, there's a little bit that we'd like to inform you of, because this is not a new thing. This is just not any old regular conversation. We do this conversation thing around here. We want to make sure that you never miss a chance to tune in and have a chat with the Scoop fam. Okay, so to do that, you can always watch us right here on Facebook. You can watch us on Facebook by clicking the like button on our page. That is at Real Scoop Show on Facebook. On YouTube, we are at The Scoop Show. And on Instagram, we are at Scoop Radio Show. So be sure to click all the buttons, all the bells, all the thumbs, and all the things so that you can make sure that you catch the replays and real-time conversations. Okay? Aside from that, we want you to hit that comment section. Hit that comment section for your girl and say, what's up? Let us know where you are tuning in from, where you are repping, because we want to know just how far and wide this conversation is going on this evening. If you are tuning in for a replay in the future, of course, because, you know, we live right now. But if you are tuning in for a replay, we are so glad that you decided to come on back around and hop in on this conversation. So hit replay in that comment section. Go ahead and just replay for us so that we know that you are here, so we can shout you out later on, because we do come back. We comment after the fact. We're here for it. Okay. So aside from that, we also want you to hit that like button, hit that share button, so your people know where you are chilling. Right here on this post, we enjoy your conversation and your commentary. So if you click into this live feed, we will be able to share your comments in real time on the screen. Okay. Also, if you're on YouTube, we can share your comments on YouTube. So all of our YouTube viewers, what's up? So much welcome to you. Please be sure and comment so that we know that you are here. I think that is all of the deets and details, you know, the details of how we do things. Aside from that, it's time to get into it. Bro, how are you? How is your Monday, Tuesday been this week? How's it going?
It's been good. I can't complain at all. Well, I could, but I won't.
Wouldn't change nothing.
At all. So I am glad. I'm good. Yeah. How about you?
I'm doing well. It has been a productive Tuesday. I'm in a good mood. Kind of chatty, kind of silly, so it's going to be fun. Energy is up. We'll say that. We won't give it any boxy adjectives. We're just going to say I'm high energy on this Tuesday. I'm free of boxes. I'm trying to be box free right now.
How does one become box free?
I don't know. We figured it out as we go. I don't know. That's what I say. It's a work in progress. But I'm starting with no adjectives that box me in, bro. I'm high energy. I think that's enough.
I'm there. I'm there. All right, cool. Well, it's it's a good week. Good couple of we got a good show as long as everything goes well. We got a good show tonight, so I'm excited about these hot topics. I'm excited about what we're doing. So as you can see, if you're looking in the comments, you see I tagged some people. So y'all go ahead and tag your peoples and tell them to come on. Those who aren't here, and let them know we're about to have some good conversation and that they need it. So so hit them up. Other than that, I'm good. I'm glad you're good. Real quick, let me throw these these news out of here real quick. So just in case y'all didn't know, we started a clubhouse. So we have a clubhouse on. I don't think you ever probably gonna get on there, but that's
okay. I am just not yet. I haven't yet. You saw my face, right? Like, I forgot.
So this club. So if you are on Clubhouse, find the scoop. Because we got 2 hours a week, and so this gives us an opportunity to have some more conversations, some deeper conversations. And if you've ever been on Clubhouse, it's some good conversations. So starting tomorrow, we're having our first Clubhouse conversation on building Black wealth, and this actually originated again from a discussion from the Scoop group. So we're going to talk. I've got myself. I'm going to be hosting. I've got Jeffrey Farrell, who's a financial advisor. I've got Ojori Hathaway, who's a financial advisor, and Dan Thomas, who is a business coach, going to join me tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central Time on Clubhouse. So if you look for this on there, join the Clubhouse. Tell your friends. We're going to be talking about building Black wealth on tomorrow. And then next week, so I'm already working on next week's as well. In there, I've got, so as you can see, it's all guys this week. The following Wednesday, I'm gonna have all ladies. So
I'll be back next week. I'll be sure to be on by next week.
So I know I've already got Tamara Dervin, who is who works with budgets. I've got Rochelle Smith, who's been on here. She's a financial advisor. And then Shanita Cease, who's a financial advisor, will be on. So I have ladies the following week. So
I won't be on this show. This is the money show. No, I won't be on this one either. So we talk about just got that line. No, this one ain't gonna be for me.
So we'll get into some other stuff too. But I'm just saying. So
I will tune in. I'll be in the house.
You can tune in. You ain't gotta come on the stage. You can come on the stage. You ain't gotta necessarily say nothing. It's your house. You can do what you want.
I will be the most hospitable hostess ever and welcome everybody. I'll be waving at everybody. Hey y'all, get comfortable.
You need something?
Yes.
You need something to do?
Let these ladies teach us something. Go on, right. Sis. Go on, sister.
So that's tomorrow and next Wednesday. It's free, don't cost you anything, but we got to talk about this building Black wealth. So let's get some experts around it. Again, if you haven't hit the share button, hit the share button. If you, because we're about to jump into these hot topics. So here we go. Of course, around here, the hot topics are always brought to you by Bob Shamrock. Bob Shamrock is the Black-owned gas station in Oklahoma City that was owned by our very own Kels Johnson and her team. Is on 2901 Northwest 10th Street. where their motto is to pull up and to fill up. So not only do you get to pull up your vehicle with high quality gas, but you get to fill up your stomachs with that wonderful food and barbecue that they have at Bob's. So get over to 2901 Northwest 10th Street in Oklahoma City and fill up at Bob's. And of course, tell them the people at the Scoop sent you.
The Scoop sent you.
All right, let's jump into these topics. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This one right here. This is a good. You know, when I read this one, the first person I thought about was Candace. Like, this is a Candace topic.
With all of her tact and insight and education, she comes at it with such a counselor perspective.
This is a Candace Payne discussion here. All right, so here it goes. It says, one of these days we're going to talk about the weird competition Black mothers have with their sons' spouses, why they want to be the main / only woman in their lives, and their attempts at sabotaging their relationships. So I guess today is the day we're going to talk about it.
One of these days. How about today, sis? Aurora. How about today, Miss Aurora Divine? I like that name, by the way. It's fancy.
One of those days. Tell us, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a thing. This is the thing. I would add the influential women in the man's life. It is not specific to just mothers. We can't have this conversation without addressing the dynamic that our families are made of. A lot of the times they are very much matriarchies. So it's not just one woman. It is multiple women who have a lot of say in the men in the family's lives. So this is definitely a thing. It is a thing. And it needs to be addressed. This is a woman thing. We gotta fix this. You know,
when you say it needs to be addressed, you mean is this like one of them woman to women conversations where we need to stay out of it, or what?
No, I don't think it necessarily needs to. If you're going to defend the behavior, I think there needs to be some hushing that happens, because I don't think a husband can speak to this and what damage it can do to the relationship. Like, everybody understands it's your mama or your sisters or your aunties or whomever. However, when you choose a wife, things change. And until you are in that dynamic that women are in, when this type of thing takes place, you can't really speak to the solution to this. This is something, in a way, the women have to have this conversation. Now, you know, y'all can listen, I guess. But as far as the solution, I don't see how men can solution this, unless, because like men are, I don't see a son or a husband is going to be like, no, mama. No, you know what I mean? Like, you can't ask that man that can't be the solution, that you just expect your husband to war with all the women who helped create him. That can't be the solution. Like, that's not viable. It's not realistic. So I think this is an us thing. This is an us thing. Your man can't fight this, but we got to fix this.
I feel like, so as a man, first of all, my follow-up question is, what does that conversation need to look like? That's my question. But as a man, let me say my comment as a man, I feel like I don't think we should have to feel like we're the referee, but I do think that we need to be the ones to I'll use the word declare, so to speak, that this is order. Like, order is, I am now married, my spouse comes first. And then to hold that position by, hold that position like, you're not gonna, interfere inappropriately. You're not gonna, so I think that's really probably the extent of what, as a man, what I think we can do and still be effective, because I don't think that it's really a benefit for us to be put in this position where we're almost forced to choose.
Exactly. Although there should not be a choice.
It should
never
why I
say this is a women's conversation, because men can handle this on an individual within your household. You can handle that. You can make that stance that you just mentioned. And I believe that is absolutely the thing that needs to happen. However, this is something that is accepted and cultivated within our community as women in our community. It's accepted, it's expected, it's excused, it's shown as a way of showing love. You know, it's revered as a way of showing love, or that woman love as, you know, that's her baby, that, you know, all of those things. That's why I say that that's something that we have to shift. We have to change that conversation, because it really does not, it doesn't benefit the family. It does not benefit the family long term, as far as legacy, as far as stability, as far as whatever comfort that you had with this man before this woman came into his life. Regardless of what you might like or not like about her, he has seen something in her that he finds beneficial in this moment, that is going to help him get to wherever it is that he needs to be. I don't know why women feel that when a man chooses a wife, he automatically forgets his family. No, but he has a different priority. That is expected, but he's always going to take care of the family. So we have to somewhat renew our security in the fact that we're going to be okay, and we might possibly be better if we allow our sons to grow into that next level of manhood. Like, wives make things better. Wives, when you come together, and I'm saying why, because that's what we're talking about, the adding of a wife. So when a man decides that he wants to move into that next level of his life, knowing that he has the weight of all of these women or this family or whatever on the back of his shoulder, like, he's not going to go into that foolishly. So to make that harder for him, to create stumbling blocks, to make it difficult for him to thrive in that space when it's already difficult, just because that's life, it doesn't show love. Like, when you really get to the root of that, that's not loving. That's why I say we got to fix that. Wherever that comes from, we need to stir that up and really deal with that, because that's not helpful.
I would agree. I don't think I think it's the exact opposite, which is selfish. I think there's a lot of selfish, and I think, you know, I give space for, because I think, you know, when I think about this as the flip of this, as husbands, as fathers, that's a difficult transition when it's your daughter or a daughter. It's typically harder for fathers with daughters than it is fathers with sons. But it's difficult in general, that I feel like it's still something that, again, that we have to maintain and understand how to maintain this level of order that says, you know what, you are now the man in her life, and she's chosen to connect with you. So guess what? So she obviously sees something in you, and she obviously sees something that you, some value that you bring to her life. So I have to trust it. I'm still, you know, have to protect from a distance maybe, but I still have to, but you're the man now, you know? So I don't know. I do think that's a conversation that needs to be had. Yeah, I'd be interested.
I have a son and daughter, so I look at this from both perspectives. You know what I mean? Like, my son is 18, and when he's y'all heard me talk about Adrian. Like, he is definitely a man's man. You know what I mean? Like, it won't be long within the next, you know, he'll be trying to settle down with somebody and that type of thing. You know, and my goal is to make that transition for the both of them as comfortable as possible, because I have to remember where I was when I was in her shoes, where my husband was when he was in my son's shoes, you know, when he will be in his, and vice versa for my girls. You know what I mean? So it's like, that stuff is hard. It's hard, you know, and I can only speak really from a mama's perspective and a wife's perspective on this one. I haven't been a husband and I haven't been a dad, but it's rough from both sides, I can imagine. But that doesn't mean we can't fix it. There's still work. still room.
You know, it's fixable. It's I think it's I'm not gonna go too deep in it, but I just feel like it's just a level of honor that has to be given. And I know sometimes I think it boils down to this idea that respect is earned and not given. And so we feel like that as a mom, I've earned this right to be this person. I've earned this position. I've earned this honor, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
But you've earned it not just because you earned it because you're his mother. You earned it because just like she's earned it because she's his wife, not because you've been his mama for 25 years or however. That's deepened the respect and should have deepened the honor, but it doesn't mean that because she's wife and been wife for a day that she doesn't get respect as well. It might not be the same level of depth, but she still should get the utmost respect as the wife. So I think
you being owed respect doesn't give you the right to dish disrespect. Exactly. You don't, that does, and I think that's where it gets twisted. Like nobody is mad about him loving his mama or taking care of his mama or being there for the women. Like nobody, that's honorable. You ask 10 women one of the most sexiest things about their mate, or one of the sexiest traits about a potential mate, how they love the women in their life. I can guarantee you 7 out of 10 of those women are going to say how he treats his mama, how he treats his sisters, how he dotes or deals with the women in his life matters. And it's sexy if he takes good care of those women. However, that is not sexy if you at some point don't know how to tamper that and redirect that to your wife. No one's saying you don't get love, Ma. That's not what we're saying.
Right. All right, let's go to the next one. Next. All right. This one is Rash.
Oh, this will be easy.
Yeah. So Rashim asked the question. He said, fellas, would you marry a woman that will only allow her kids to be around you when she's present, but never when she's not present? Fellas, would you marry a woman that will only allow her kids to be around you when she's present, but never when she's present? Well, since the question to the fellas, I'll go first.
Yeah, fella, what do you say?
So, when I read that, in a post I said, no. I said we're not ready. We're not ready for marriage. If we're at a stage where she doesn't trust me with her children, then we're just not ready for marriage. It doesn't mean I won't continue to date her. It doesn't mean I won't. We can't develop into that. But if she were to tell me that she will never let her children be around me unless she's around, then we might as well end a relationship because that's just not gonna work for me. Mm-hmm. But I would understand. I understand this to me in the context of we're at a point where we're thinking we're ready to be married, and this is something that she has now informed me. And at that point, I'm saying no, we're not ready for marriage. If you don't trust that I'm going to care for your children, or let me say it this way: if I haven't shown you that I will care for your children in a good way, in a way that you can trust, and in a way that you can feel secure. So yeah, we're just not ready for it. If that's how you feel,
completely agree. Yeah, there would be no marriage until this was dealt with. Yeah. And if this is just a thing for you, like these kids got to be joined to your hip for me to be in their lives, and like you said, that wouldn't work. I would of course I'm not a dad, and that I'm not that type in that position, but I couldn't see myself if I was a single woman dating a man who had a baby mama who felt that way. You know what I mean? About her, who was all very apprehensive about him dating another one. Once we were established as a serious couple and I'm not going in, I plan to be here and we're going to move on to the next level. If this woman is not willing to meet me, create a relationship with me so that we could possibly raise these children together, because that's the type of chick that I would be. Yeah, that would be a no-go for me either. Or if she's there, they can't be that type of thing. Like we can't see what this is going to be if this is I don't get to be included. Like, I don't know how those types of relationships are supposed to work. I would also recommend she seek therapy for whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, no disagreement there. I think I would be concerned if we were talking about getting married and this was still an issue. Yep. I think if the subject of marriage comes up and we're like, and that is still there, especially if it's a known a known issue as a as a pastor, as a relationship coach, as a friend, as a brother. Hey, red flag, red sign. This is a huge stop sign. There's a trust issue here that needs to be dealt with. And if I can, if it's to me, it's like if I can't trust you with kids, then I cannot trust you with money. If I trust you with kids and I can't trust you with money, how am I trusting you with my body? How am I trusting
life
you
like?
How am I trusting? Like, what are we doing here? And I know that's the whole slippery slope thing, but that's the reality, Yeah, and I saw in the post there's a lot of people talking about, well, you don't forget that women have gone through trauma and that there are a lot of men who look like they're good but turn out to be pedophiles and all that. And I get all of that, but again, if we're at the point where we're talking about getting married, then that question should not be out there. That should be something that's settled in your mind.
It can't be something that just has to sit there. If that is still how you feel, we need to be able to discuss and action ways that I can resolve that. You know what I mean? Like if after we've gotten all the way through the relationship to the point where I've met the kids, I've interacted with the kids, you've seen me with these children, and now we're discussing marriage and you still feel this way. I need some things. What is it that needs to happen so that this can move forward? It can't be, well, this is just how I am. I don't know. Well, we don't know if this needs to happen then. We having a totally different conversation. The kids are no longer the issue. We are now the question on the table.
What's up with our relationship?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep it going. We were moving pretty good.
That one was gonna be easy. I knew that one was
gonna be yeah. Let's see if this one is easy. All right, let's go. All right. So a man went to church.
No, not easy.
I was like, Lord, I don't want to talk about this. A man went to church. He forgot to switch off his phone, rang in the church accidentally during prayer. The pastor scolded him. The worshipers admonished him after prayers for interrupting the silence. His wife kept on lecturing him on his carelessness all the way home. One could see the shame, embarrassment, and humiliation on his face. After all of this, he never stepped foot in the church again. And that evening, he went to a bar. He was still nervous and trembling. He spilled his drink on the table by accident. The waiter apologized and gave him a napkin to clean himself. The janitor mopped the floor. The female manager offered him a complimentary drink. She also gave him a huge hug and a peck while saying, "Don't worry, man. Who doesn't make mistakes?" He has not stopped going to that bar since then. Lesson. Sometimes our attitude as believers drives souls away from God. You can make a difference by how you treat people, especially when they make mistakes. Pastor, go first.
Yeah, so I get it. And I do the lesson I think is valid. I think in any of these types of scenarios, it can feel extreme, but I think if you're really looking for finding a message, you're going to find it. Like, this makes sense. How a person is received when doing a new thing absolutely plays a huge part in if they plan on doing the thing again. And when it comes to a place that sets an expectation of bringing your brokenness, your most vulnerable, the thing that you're dealing with, your mistakes here. And this is where they can be wiped clean. You can be anew. It's all, you're welcome. We're going to love you through it. That is supposed to be the message. And then when you make the mistake, that is the response for something as simple as a cell phone ringing in the sermon. That happens to everybody. Like, who has not had their phone ring in the most inconvenient of times? Imagine if something big happened. What would be my response? If you were already apprehensive about trying a thing, doing a thing, and you did the thing and something small like that happened, but the reaction was large. Can you imagine the thought process of that person? Imagine, well, damn, what if I did one of the things they said you're really not supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, they got a whole book, tablets with commandments of things. You know, if I do one of them, like, I can't even begin to tell them the stuff I've already done on the book. You know what I mean? Like, that's not welcoming. That is not saying come. We got you. Church is supposed to got us. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I mean? So, like, we could go through all of the try it again, but you have to understand the church is on the side of the selling side. You've already figured it out. If that's the stance that you're at, you're trying to say to others, hey, you also need this really good thing. Let me show you why. You know what I mean? So we've said it many, many times. The church needs new branding or something, because the messaging ain't matching for some churches. In some spaces, they ain't lining up. So I get it.
Yeah.
Nothing says we needed you earlier. That's what we needed, your tact and tone in an earlier post.
So about this, and I'm going to say, I agree with the lesson. I agree that our attitude drives people away. I would say that it shouldn't drive people away from God. Mm-hmm. I do think that it should drive does people from church. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think that we should treat people well. I'm not one of those, nor have I ever been one who, like, a phone. When I read the thing, I'm like, who gets mad about a phone ringing? But I've been in churches where a phone ringing, a baby crying, like, causes people to get all in a frenzy. Yep. As a matter of fact, this past Sunday, I was up preaching and the baby started crying, and, like, all of a sudden, and I just so happened to watch, and, like, the mom, like, hurried up and grabbed the baby and ran out, and I'm thinking, I wanted to be like, sit down. Like, you're not bothering me. It's okay. It's fine. Baby's crying. No, but I understand that's the culture that we've created. So I get that, and I do get that. I think so. Now here's the other part of this for me is where my pick apartness comes, is the analogy to me doesn't line up well. Like, yeah, I agree with you that we're on the selling, as you said, the selling end of this, but the sale is not the people. Mm-hmm. And so the bar, like, trying to get your money. So them doing this is it's just, it's not a good comparison to me. But I do the overall point of it is I absolutely agree that we shouldn't treat people badly. Yeah.
It's a facilitation of what you're there for. Yes, the church, you're not supposed to go to church for the people. But if you're needing to learn, the people in that space are going to facilitate that lesson. You have to be in a space that is going to be able to give the information, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go to it if you can't properly provide the lesson in a way that the people that the students can learn it. Then what are you doing? If you go to a bar where the people are rude, people go to bars, good bars, or continually go to a bar. Yeah, they're trying to get your money, but if the service is whack, that's going to be an empty bar. The goal is still not being met. Every bar has the goal of getting your money. Not every bar succeeds at getting your money. Every church has the goal of helping you save your soul. And getting you a better relationship with God, helping you cultivate that better relationship. Every church doesn't do that. Now, the kicker with that is it's easier to convince people to go back to bar after bar after bar. Much easier to convince them to do that, because you might not have the great time, but you might get a good drink. You know what I mean? But at the church, that adds layers and layers and layers, possible more and more layers of trauma that you already have going in. So, like, that's what I mean by, like, what's your goal?
I think the other part of it, for me, the difference in marketing. The difference in marketing that the church needs to have is everybody in the building is just as, if not more, dysfunctional as the next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, it, so I'm not a really good. Um, I'm not a marketer of. I even in the pool. I don't market. That's not my job
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just as broken and dysfunctional and crazy, and I got the issues too. Like your phone rang, but I was drinking. You know what I mean? I was, last night. So we don't have. So I'm not. I don't think. I think the difference in marketing is we're all trying to figure it out. So if the people there approach people as we're all trying to figure it out. So when a mistake happens, we're gonna deal with them like we all trying to figure it out. That would be good. And then the people who are coming realize that this person who is saying something to you is just as jacked up and as screwed up as I am. So maybe the same mercy I need in this situation, let me give to them. So they're not the salesperson. And I think that's, to me, one of the shifts that needs to happen is like none of us. I'm not even again as the preacher. I'm not the preacher. Is not the salesperson. The book, the God, the Jesus, all of that.
So is your walk self-service then? So this is me being devil's advocate to that, because I understand that yes, we're all here for the same experience. However, we're at different levels in this walk. So if we're trying to, the issue that we've all been talking about, the problem, folks have been getting much closer to God. Like people are not lacking relationships with God. That's not really the discussion that people are having. The discussions that all over the world are having is why are people not going back to church? So church is what we're talking about, getting people to come back to church. Mm-hmm. We all understand what should be happening, but that has not been happening to the point where people are now leaving and saying, I'd rather do this alone. So how do we get the people to come back? Do we just say, well, forget how you feel, you're going to figure this out, we self-teaching? Or how do you reframe that? Because if everybody is in here just accepting everybody and they brokenness, which is good, but how do we create a space where people want to be there broken together? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to want to come there. You have to want to come. To tell people to suck it up because we're all sucking is, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but like to a person who is not going because it sucks every time, it sucked every time, it has never been a good thing. Mm-hmm. That does not to say, well, we all just people, doesn't convince any. That's not going to get them. That ain't going to do it.
I don't think it would or should. I think the way to do it is, again, to start there. Mm-hmm. So that way everybody understands that I don't even buy into the idea that we're all on different, like the whole all on different levels, and not like
an understanding of God, like if someone is new to it, like, and comfortable in their faith and comfortable in their practices and all that other stuff, they have a little more grace to give because they've seen it shown. You have a little more grace to offer if you have possibly seen it shown, or if you should. We're speaking in ideally the people there have seen and exhibited. That's what the word says. That's what we hear. You know what I mean? When they telling us in the threads and when they trying to get us to come, I said, oh, the grace is sufficient and da 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 da. Okay, since you've experienced that, then you should have a little bit more than the person who does not. So that's kind of what I'm saying. So yeah,
and that's why I said the
you got it, but.
Yeah, that's why I said the people there should realize that. That's what they're realizing. It comes in to where now they're saying, okay, I'm not in the position to scold or to fuss at anybody about their phone ringing or anything else because of my experience and because of what I recognize I had to, what I had to and am having to deal with and overcome and work through my whole life. So yes, absolutely, there should be this grace that's given to one another by people who are there because they have experience and recognize, and it's the recognition of the grace that you have been given, whereas this other person might not have experienced it or might not recognize it to the same depth that you should have. And again, that's depending on people's story, that's not
right. Yeah,
But
we always deal in extremes in these conversations.
Right.
And marketing and branding might have been too secular terms, but we're business people. But
that's a bad term.
because I know some people, you don't brand Jesus, but yeah, you kind of, this is the church we're talking about. We're not talking about Jesus specifically right now. We're talking about getting people back to this location to get the end game of God. You know what I mean? So like he's there, but you got to get him there. So that's why I went there with that.
No, I think that's an actual pretty decent word, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I think everything, just like with any kind of brand, any content that is put out about a brand speaks to the brand, and the people who are a part of the church the Church of Jesus are a part of the brand. We're the product. So
all right then, I retract my apology. If Pastor saying pastor, it's
there's
going
a level of
all right with me.
other pastors would tell you that I'm absolutely wrong and probably blaspheming, or not blaspheming, but they might say I'm heretical, but
Pastor Pan to say I might.
You're fine. With all parables and with all examples, there's some good parts and bad parts. So we're gonna
there you go.
Hey, Tay,
I have a soapbox, not a pulpit. I don't claim to have a pulpit.
Let's see. Next. Let's see what we got. Is this the right one? Yep.
Church.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going dealing with the wrong. Thanks.
Right, sis. Right.
Dealing with the wrong woman can ruin your life. Take the vetting process more seriously, Black man. Dealing with the wrong woman can ruin your life. Take the vetting process seriously, Black man. The doors of the church are open.
Will there be one? Will there be one? There should be many. All of them. Yeah. This is the word.
Yeah. I think I wonder for most men what the vetting process looked like. Like what I wonder, you know what I mean? Like I mean at 41. At 41, I have my vetting, so to speak, process is different than it was at 21. So, or 20, I was 23 and I got married. So at 23. So that process was completely different because I was a different person and less mature, less experienced. So I wonder for most people what the vetting process looks like. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah. Me too.
I wonder. I guess I'm asking. So, for ladies, like, what are, like, can you if you know that a man is vetting you, like, what kind of questions or things are being done to, that you know that you're being vetted? I mean, outside of let's move beyond looks, sex, cooking, and cleaning. Move beyond that. What other things are men doing, or are men doing other things that let us know, that this is a part of the vetting process, or let us know that I'm vetting this person?
So the men that are in my life that I have watched do this have done things like purposely engaging with family events, like happily being that +1 to Nana's birthday celebration, or if whatever the things that your family is involved in, those types of things, so that he can watch how you interact, where you fall within your family vibe. You know what I mean? Like he wants to see how you interact with the kids in the family, with the other people. You know what I mean? All of the ways that you interact with the people around you. He's definitely, you got to go around the friends, the homies. You got to go around the homies. He want to see how you move and groove with the homies. Are you too flirtatious? Are you in everybody's face? Are you not at all? You don't have anything to say. They looking like, what's wrong with her? Y'all fighting? Like, what's the deal? And she's over there with nothing. Like he wants to see how you vibe with the fellas. He's gonna bring you around some women. It's gonna be either his sisters, it's gonna be the homie girls, the co-worker chicks. You're gonna be engaging with some other chicks so you can see how you move, because you want to know you're gonna have to pull you out for chicks when you takes you out. You're gonna know how to know how to hold your tone, hold your peace, and do what you got to do. I think he's wanting to see if you are a mate. When it really comes down to it, and we have these conversations, it is more about longevity within our age range. It's more about, do I like her? Is she gonna be a chick that when I'm mad at her, I'm still gonna want to fool with her? You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. I really, really think that men start to pay more attention to how a woman responds and prepares, and how flexible she is, how how agile she is in life. That matters to a man who is trying to do forever. So that's what I've noticed in the men in my life whose opinions I value. I'm gonna make that real clear. You know what I mean? Because I don't claim to not have a good mix of folks in my life. However, those men that are actually being very cognizant of this journey, those are the things that they're doing, that are really, really tuning into it. That's what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with all that. Everything you said, I would absolutely agree with. I think the only other things I would probably add would be her spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a person who is like, so whatever thing is valuable to him. So if it's, for some men, it's health and fitness. If if you're like, I know Vincent usually watches, like if he's a vegan, like this, how does she deal with that? Is she willing to help and support that, or is that a problem? I know brothers who are serious about, like motorsports. Like, is that how do you survive in that world? And music. Like,
she's active and athletic, and
is that something she can do, or is it something she's going to not tell me to do anymore? Or, things like that. Like, how does she interact, like you said, in that space? For some, I know some guys who entertaining is a big thing. So is she a person entertaining? Because they like to have people at the house and have card games and family barbecues, and how does she do that? So I think I would add, and like I said, the spiritual aspects, that is a big thing to some people. So how well does she mix into that world? So, and for me, it's a business thing. Like, how does she treat business? How does she treat my business? Is that something that she's willing to come alongside, and maybe doesn't have to be a part of it, so to speak, but at least help in some way, and not get in the way.
Right.
So,
is she a compliment? Do they compliment my life? Yeah,
absolutely. Is she allergic to business? Like, entrepreneur. Like, there's some women who are,
like I ran from their finance clubhouse.
You're not allergic to business, but yeah, like,
right? No, not business.
Yeah. they break out in hives, like, entrepreneurship. Oh no, And then my thing, and I always say that's fine. Like, the big thing for me is people like, I want to be the first lady. Well, I'm actually okay with that. Yeah. But are you okay with me being a pastor? Like, I need you. I don't need you to be a first lady. I need you to be my wife. If you can handle that, then that's fine. And then the first lady stuff will come with it. So, yeah, I'm with you.
Yep. This super matters, though. This is something I tell my son, my nephews, any young man within my earshot. This is the type of conversation we having.
Let me tell you something. I think that I agree that we need to take it more serious. The other thing is, we say that ladies need to see men in all 4 seasons. And I think we need to see that as a man. You need to see a lady in that. You need to see her when she's down.
You
need to see her when she's financially struggling. You need to see her how she treats people. When she's in, like all 4 seasons of life. How does she deal with those? You need to see those too, because there's going to be transition. There's going to be job loss. There's going to be death. There's going to be if you're going to do the rest of your life with somebody, you're going to have to go through all of that. So how do they handle that in the dating phase? How does she respond when you tell her, I can't take you out someplace because I don't have any money this week? Is her response the response that you need? in that moment, or is she so only concerned with where she is that she don't even think to?
Now, he does not say that to mean create situations.
No tests, no testing.
Don't do that. Yeah, because that could have been taken real left, and that
testing.
That is not what he is saying. He is saying allow do not always prepare. See, that's the segue into where we're going. You cannot always prepare the life away.
Yes,
okay, you're gonna have to let some things happen, but do not test the person that's sitting there with $3,000 in your pocket telling my baby I ain't got it. Boy, if you don't
I'm not saying that.
Make that damn reservation and shut your
face.
I
am saying if you don't have it, don't put it on the credit card trying to pretend that you do have it.
There you go. Thank you. So, yes, you can't prepare it away. Just let it do what it do. Yeah.
There you go. All right, so we've been doing, last week we started something new where we've been inviting entrepreneurs on to kind of give us a few minutes about their business, let us know what they do, and let us know how they are benefiting our community. So tonight we have another entrepreneur on. His name is Coach D. He is the parent fitness coach. And what he does is just what his name says. He is the parent fitness coach. And so we're going to let him come on and talk about what he does. And we want you all to support him. So without further ado, Coach D, welcome to the Scoop. How are you doing this evening?
What's up? Let me back up a little bit. What's up? Nice to meet you, Q. I have not met you yet, so it's nice to meet you. And I appreciate you guys letting me on the Scoop. Look, I was hearing y'all in this last conversation. I was like, I wanted to be a part of that. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah. Tell us your thoughts. Go ahead. You could jump in there.
No, I love the part about the seasons because I feel like no matter what relationship, man or woman, you need to see someone go through a negative time. You need to go through a negative time with them to see how they support you. Yeah. You need to see how they deal with stress. They need to see how you deal with stress. How you treat other people. Like, so I really big on the seasons. Like, you need to learn who this person is.
Absolutely.
Before you make a commitment that's lifelong. Yep. So I'm very, very, very big on that. I think we look for love. And I'm happily married, so I ain't looking for love. I'm happy. I got love. But like, we look for love with just with the intentions of all the good parts, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we get ourselves in trouble by not looking for, I like to call red flag, yellow flags. And not saying red flag you need to stop necessarily, but that needs to be investigated.
Mm-hmm.
So because we don't focus on the negatives and what can happen negatively, we only see the positive sides. You say I do, and then this new person shows up. So that's very big. I'm very big on seasons and seeing people at their worst. Honestly, you don't want your significant other at their worst, but I want to see you at your worst. So when we're at our worst together, I know how you're gonna react. So that's just it. That's just it. I love that part. I came in on that. That's awesome.
Come on, Coach. We're gonna mess around at the pass a collection for you tonight. You coach relationships, fitness. Come on now.
No. So we actually host this show. Winfrey, I think you know Mia. So we do a Bible study every Tuesday. I just got off of that actually 20 minutes ago. And we're doing the relationship series.
Oh.
So today we actually talked about marriage after divorce. And that was our topic. So
you already in.
You were tuned in,
yeah. So it's very, very. I think relationships are hard, or dating is hard, and finding the one is hard. But we make it harder. Mm-hmm. So we just gotta do better. Use logic instead of emotion. Mm-hmm. I know we're looking for emotion and romance and all that stuff, but we need logic more than emotion as we're going through this phase as well. So, all right, I'm gonna move on.
Right. I said, see, we done got all.
Yeah.
So talk to us. We do that good.
Parent fitness coach. How did you get? What is the parent fitness coach? Talk about that.
So, yes, guys, I'm Coach E, the parents fitness coach, and I help parents lose weight without giving up their favorite foods. I am very, very big. I've been a part of it. I was 270 pounds once, and I know what diet culture is. Diet culture is very toxic. It drains on your mental health. it sets up unrealistic expectations, because if you only eat chicken and broccoli for 3 months and lose a bunch of weight and you look good, but then after that diet is over, you go back to eating regular carbs and all that, you're going to gain all your weight back. But no one, including me, I was guilty of this in the past. No one is telling people the truth, though, that this is only a temporary fix.
Yeah.
So the thing about I am a father of 8. Me and my wife have 8 beautiful kids. And that's kind of where the parents fitness coach niche came, because someone's all like, Derek, if you can lose 75 pounds with 8 kids, then these people with 2 or 3 kids can lose weight. So I lost 75. My wife lost 83 pounds. And I keep it for busy parents. I'm only asking for a 5-hour commitment for exercise a week. I'm not taking away any foods. You don't have to buy any extra supplements or any special foods. I really want to teach you how to lose weight and keep it off for life. Teach you how to take care of your body for life. Because our legacy, we have kids. Like, there's no reason that we should be leaving before they grown and our grandkids are here, unless God definitely says it. But we need to take care of our health and do everything in our control. And childhood obesity is running wild. And where do they get that from? The parents. So we got to stop it at the root source.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
So typically, what is the, so you talked about why you got into it, but typically what is, if a person works with you, you said it's only 5 hours a week, what do you do since I can still eat honey buns? I mean,
okay, so no, basically what I do is I train people. I have a 12-week program called the Parent Transformation Program. And again, it's to transform not just your body, but your thinking, get away from that become anti-diet, basically, and learn how to eat real food with freedom, right? Because what happens mostly when you're on a diet, if you don't make it those 3 months, what happens? Monday through Thursday, I mean, chicken and broccoli, Friday comes around, Saturday comes around, and we end up eating all that progress, right? If you could hate Brussels sprouts, but Q, if I told you you can't have Brussels sprouts, you're going to let me have some Brussels sprouts. I'm going to go
That's all I want.
It's all the psychology of our mind. So when we tell people no on diets, they go get what they think they can't have. The other part of diets that are when you eat that, you feel shame. You feel guilt. Why do you feel this from eating food? That's why you don't say cheat meal around me. What are you cheating on? How do you have a cheat meal? What are you cheating on? Right. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm eating food and I'm cheating because it's all about rewiring. There is no bad food, good food. There is nutritious food and less nutritious food. Because that's it. You said a honey bun. I could go eat a honey bun and still lose weight if I'm tracking my calories and I'm doing my due diligence and I'm exercising. And I'll say the last point of this is realize that exercising is essential, like brushing your teeth. And a lot of time where people have really messed up is they only exercise to lose weight. Well, exercise and all medical research now tells you that if you strength train a minimum of 3 times a week for 30 minutes, you can add 15 to 20 active run around with your grandkids years to your life. So
you said 3 days a week for how long? You said 30 minutes,
30 minutes strength training. Cardio is great, but cardio is extra. So I really want you to strength train, and that's with medical research. And then I always add on stretching. And just after you strength train, take 10 minutes, 15 minutes to stretch your body out, keep that range of motion, get your joints healthy. Again, as we get older, we got to watch out for that stuff. So that's it. So once you hit your weight loss goal, you got to go into maintenance goal, right? That's that 3 times a week, 30 minutes. So that's an hour and a half. If you stretch for 15 minutes, that's 45 minutes. So out of 168 hours a week, if you're already at your weight and you're comfortable with your weight, you only have to spend 2 hours and 15 minutes focused on exercise.
So I have a question. I have a follow-up.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, we all know cardio. Everybody talks about cardio and cardio. Got to do cardio. What is strength training? What is the difference in what we see versus what strength training is? Because you make that sound very appealing as opposed to the hardcore cardio.
Well, I mean, most of the time, especially the women, y'all some cardio warriors.
Right.
It's the women I gotta get.
I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan. So I'm interested in this strength training.
So strength training is lifting weights, and basically you don't have to just go to the gym and lift weights. You don't have to do dumbbells. You can do body weight. Another one is Pilates is another great one, and you can pick up a Pilates workout on YouTube and do a Pilates workout 3 days a week. But strength training just basically means moving weight, right? You're strengthening your body. Strength training allows you to shape your body. So women who want curves but they want to lose weight, the way you keep your curves is strength training. Lifting heavy on the lower half. Man, we want to shape our body. We want that V shape, that, you know, we want to look great, have that posture. That takes strength training to strengthen your muscles and to give you that physique. So when we talk about shaping your body to the body that you want, the only way you can do that is strength training. If you only do cardio, you can lose weight, but you're gonna be flabby. So that's the big thing.
You're talking my language. You're talking to me now.
And then the second part of strength training that makes it just so much better than cardio is strength training does everything. So yeah, cardio, if you want to run a marathon, you need to do cardio because you need lung capacity. You need heart, you know, your heart needs to be able to beat and supply air and everything like that into your body. But strength training does that. It just doesn't give you enough to run a marathon, but it still protects your heart. You still increases your lung capacity and breathing and controlling all that. So strength training really does every single thing. And then the biggest benefit of strength training really is strength training burns for 48 hours. So when I worked out today, my workout today, I'm going to burn calories for the next 48 hours because of my strength training today.
Cardio only burns 3 days of work for you because you're carrying over for
40. So you only work out 3 days a week. But think about that. If you work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Tuesday, technically, you're still burning calories. Thursday, you're still burning calories. And Saturday, you're still burning calories. And you only strength train 3 days a week. So that's the biggest thing. Cardio only burns calories when you are doing it. So as soon as you step off that treadmill, you're done.
Yep.
How can we sign up? Tell the people.
So keeping it real simple for you guys. I have an application process because not everybody's ready. We know that. People are like, I want to lose weight, and they're not ready. So I do have an application process, and my philosophy is different. I'm going against the grain, right? Everybody says diet. I don't believe in that. So the easiest way to even sign up with our program is go to theparentsfitnesscompany.com. You're going to submit your information, and there is a video there. It's a quick video for you to watch that basically teaches you my philosophy in about 7 minutes. And it shows you how I lost weight, shows you how my wife lost weight, just with 4 simple principles. If you like those principles, at the end of that video, you can schedule a call with me, and we will go over a call. We will go over your goals and see if the programs are the right fit for you. It's not for everybody. It's not. Some because they're not ready, and some because some people just want to diet. Like I had people that signed up for my program and don't do anything I say, basically because they want that diet mentality. It's hard for them to break. So the biggest thing is I want to make sure that if you sign up, we're getting you to your goals. So how you start, theparentsfitnesscompany.com, submit your information, watch that training, and if you want to book a call with me, you can, and we'll go from there.
Nice.
Thank you very much. And y'all, where can they find you? Because I found you obviously on Instagram. So that's how we met. How can people find you on social media if they want to get more information as well?
Honestly, Instagram's my jam. So Instagram, the Parents Fitness Coach, at the Parents Fitness Coach. That is my Instagram name. That is my jam. If you sign up for the training, or you can join my email list, you can get me via email as well. I do have a Facebook group, but again, like Instagram is the best thing. I respond to Instagram. I'm on Instagram mostly during the day, so that's the best place to reach me.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you for being here, man. And y'all go and listen. Y'all go and get signed up. Y'all go get signed up. This is if you go look on his Instagram page, you're going to see results. You'll see content that is good. So I have been absolutely impressed, not just with your social media presence, but with your results as well. And so again, that's what caught me. So
Listen, he got
I
me
appreciate
interested in the strength training business. I'm
Q. I might have something for you. DM me, Q. When y'all done, DM me. I might have something for you. All
I
right.
got you. I'm on it. Wait, it'll be in the morning because I'm going to bed
Okay,
after
that's
this.
fine.
But I'm
No, that's fine. That's fine. Like I'm about to when we done, I'm about to do one more thing and I'm done. So we good. No, but DM me. I might have something for you. But again, I thank you guys for allowing me on your show, allowing me
Anytime.
to share your platform.
Anytime,
Thank
man.
you.
Keep doing what you're doing,
All
brother.
right.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
God bless, guys.
Bless you, man. Go and support Coach D, the Parents Fitness Coach, y'all.
Mm-hmm. That was good. I think you snuck that in on me when you didn't tell me what all that was going to be about. You know my non-exercise and anti, but that I could possibly
on the agenda.
Yeah, but no, you didn't give me anything. You just that was it. I didn't know if I was reading a bio, if it was a commercial, nothing. I'm here for it though. I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm just saying I see you. I'm just saying I see you.
No, I agree, Sinead. He's good.
Yeah.
You guys follow him, and like I said, when I be on Instagram, and I'm not the greatest health and fitness person, but I'm like, yeah, he right, yeah, he right, he right, yeah, that's right too. Like, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's good. So y'all follow him on Instagram. If this is something, if you're, if you are desiring to make some changes in your health and fitness journey, y'all look him up. Go to his website, check out the video. Be on his emailing list for his 12-week program. All right, main topic. You got it, Q.
All right. We started this conversation on last Tuesday, and we felt that we wanted to continue to dig. And we are. So here we are. We got our shovels, we got our picks, we got our flashlights. We ready. And we come with bullet points. Kinda. We have a flow. So we're gonna roll with it this week. Last week we began the conversation about how men feel the need to be perfect, the fallacy of men thinking that they have to be perfect before they are able to pursue love on a long-term basis. So we started last week, we got into the whole money aspect of it. We started talking about money and how many men won't move won't make a move towards a woman in any type of seriousness until that money is right. And while there was some understanding of that, like, yes, because, money is necessary for life and it is, stability is huge for women. We did cover that. We also covered the importance of being able to allow someone in to be able to grow and build and be a partner in that process. At least I hope that's what we accomplished on last week's show. So this week we wanted to move a little bit deeper into this. Damn it, why are you moving my stuff around on me?
I was like, where did this come from? Okay, that's cute.
I put it there so that I would not lose when we were trying.
There you go. Sorry. There you go. Sorry. I was like, what is this? We didn't do this. Okay.
Y'all, we have a Google Doc that we work from, and I copied our notes so that I can stay on track. And he's editing, and like I see Scoop Show hopping around on my notes. I'm like,
where did this come from? I didn't do this. Oh, sorry. Usually it says that you're in here when you're in here.
Yeah, I was in there earlier so I could come back and be smooth, and you just messed me all up.
Keep going. You good? You going?
Anyway, all right. So we are going to be talking about how earlier today. So let me say, okay, you mentioned my post, and now I can go with that. So earlier today, or yesterday, I posted that vulnerability is sexy, like super sexy. And I shared that because we often run from vulnerability, whether you are male or female. We don't really like being really vulnerable. Not the kind of, oh yeah, girl, I've been through that. Oh yeah, bro. Yep. Felt like that's not vulnerable. Being the first to do a thing, to be the initiator of the discomfort is rare. Like we don't really sign up for that. But it is very sexy when you can come across that in a mate who is willing to open up with you and be the types of vulnerable that society says we shouldn't be. So, in the spirit of the conversation being focused primarily on men, that is what we're going to talk about, because women are supposed to be warm and fuzzy. We're supposed to be the keepers of the emotions and all of the feels. Bring all of your feels and we'll keep them safe. That's the thing. It's expected from us. Men, not so much. You bring all of your things that need protecting and paying for and provide, that's what you bring to the men. And that's not balanced. It's not accurate, and it's seeming to be a little harmful when we really start talking about how our relationships, how our families, our communities, our world needs to shift. So we're bringing it in tonight. We're going to talk about that, and why this is something that is misconstrued among the men's. we gotta talk about that, and how we need to change this type of conversation. We want to chat it out. So what do you think before we get dig? Tell us from the men's point of view what this looks like.
Vulnerability looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And why is it a fear? Why is it something that men specifically run from in the premise of relationships?
So let me start with what it looks like. I think what it looks like is it's very multidimensional. So in the dimension of relationships, it's feeling comfortable enough telling you our dreams. It's feeling safe enough. It's feeling comfortable enough to tell you our dreams, knowing that they might sound ridiculous,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And knowing that our current life looks probably the absolute reverse of what we're opposite of what we're saying we want,
mm-hmm.
and trusting that your response is going to be encouraging and hopeful and loving and responsible.
Mm-hmm.
It's
because it's important. It weighs a lot to you.
Yeah, it's feeling vulnerability in relationships feels like I have space to mess up, and that mess up doesn't change the honor and the respect that we desire. It doesn't keep us from being seen as the ultimate king. Vulnerability looks like the same way that most women, a lot of women have such high regard for their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
It's being that guy, even though we recognize that you're seeing your finished product father through the lens of an imperfect me.
That's good.
Or an unfinished product, because I'm still working to get to where you're saying. So you didn't see, I always tell ladies, you're judging him against your father who's finished, and he's still in the process of becoming your father. But if you really judged him based on where your father was at the same time he is right now, you'd probably see the same person.
So it's like filtered versus unfiltered. We're filtering our fathers. And yeah. I can see that. That's good.
Yeah. It's to know that vulnerability for men is safety. It's security. It's the it's the I can fall apart in your arms. I said it on the post on Candace's post early.
Laying in the lap.
I said you can. There is something about being able to lay in your woman's lap and know that she is like, I got you. You still my man. I still believe. Like vulnerability is. Vulnerability was for me the day that I had no choice, and this was a forced. I remember one day, and I got my car repossessed, and I came back in and I sat outside for 30 minutes because I didn't want to go back in the house and tell my then wife that that the car had got repossessed.
Yeah.
I didn't know who to call. I couldn't call my dad because my phone was in the house. I couldn't. So vulnerability.
Oh, baby. No lifeline, Jesus. You just on the porch, hands in your head.
Yeah. So vulnerability was going back in the house, not saying anything, breaking down, crying, and her saying, "We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're fine. I know you did your best." Like vulnerability is like, and still being, and then protecting me from the outside. Being able to, and still being protected, still being honored, still being loved, not having to have this thrown back up in my face. Now, why don't we do this? I just answered that question too, because typically what has happened to probably every man, whether it be from his mama or to the first woman he actually cared about or tried to care about, was used against us. That vulnerability was mishandled. And so now, or because through somebody else, most likely our father or the masculine person we had, we were taught vulnerability is weak, vulnerability is stupid, vulnerability gets you hurt, vulnerability gets you dumped, because no woman wants a weak man. No woman wants a man who crying all over. You know what I mean? Like we built up this dumb thing in our mind that this is every woman. Like we said last week, instead of maturing to the place where we understand that it was that woman, and that woman was immature, and that woman made a mistake. That woman fits that same role. So I think vulnerability is having, you know, I use the analogy of having you falling down and having somebody, you know, that person is still going to be standing on the sideline cheering you on, saying, you know, keep going, get up, you're going to score, you can win. Like that's vulnerability for us, is knowing that we can fail, knowing that we can win, knowing that we can try, knowing that we can, like, we don't have to hide. Genesis 2 talks about Adam and Eve, and says at the end of Genesis 2 that they were naked and they were unashamed. The absence of shame. It's the absence of guilt. It's the absence of condemnation. It's that space that says, like we were talking about earlier with church, like where we're both messed up, but you still great.
Okay.
You know, all of that is what vulnerability looks like to me.
Okay. So that was a beautiful response. Like, seriously, thank you for that. Because yes, I would agree that those are all very good examples of being vulnerable, especially from a male perspective. Now, as a woman who desires this type of relationship with her mate, how does she position herself to be that person that you can feel that type of vulnerability with? Like, is that something that you just have to figure out? Is there preparation that has to happen there? Like, how do you prepare yourself or prepare her for you being that level of vulnerable? Does that make sense?
I think so. I think what I hear you asking is, how do we as men help her get to that? Or
because often when we have these conversations, it's but y'all don't want to see that, or we don't do, like here recently we've been trying to dig into this. So men are not denying that there is vulnerability within them. It's absolutely there. They are saying you don't deserve it. Like, you're not going to take care of it. That's what I'm hearing over and over and over again. We as men do not trust women as a whole, in general, with our soft spots.
Yeah.
Even though you say you want it, you don't really want it. Yes. So how, as women, do we begin to listen to how to shift that? Like, how do we shift that to make that so that you feel more comfortable letting us in there?
Yeah. So I think the really the main thing is don't fumble the ball. In the moment when he does it, don't fumble. Like, don't mess up that moment. Don't, like, You know what I mean? Don't. If he's coming to you being vulnerable, recognize, oh, this is a vulnerable moment. Okay, let me respond the right way. Okay, I gotta. He's doing this. Okay, he's doing this because he's doing this because he needs me.
Mm-hmm.
And then what does he need? And then respond in that manner. So I think the way that you do it is you recognize this is a moment. There is something that he needs. Let me slow down and not maybe respond the way that I want to, because in some instances our vulnerability deserves a swift kick in the butt. But that's me. Some stuff we say, it's like, that's stupid. But
so pause can be okay.
so pausing, a pause is probably, and going, okay, what does he really need? What is he really saying in this moment? Okay, he's being vulnerable. He needs encouragement. Let me encourage this. Let me encourage him, because sometimes it ain't the right time to correct us. Sometimes in that moment, the vulnerable moment is not the time to correct. It's like I already have an open wound. I'm already like lying here open, and now you want to use this as a time to chastise me. That doesn't work. So I would say, look, do that. And then if you miss the moment, quickly own it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that wasn't the response I was supposed to give you.
Yeah.
My bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I should have said, or this is what I could have done, because guess what? I just reacted out, whatever. But don't make excuse for it. Don't just, hey, I was wrong. That was bad.
Mm-hmm.
You told me something in a vulnerable moment, and I didn't honor that. Like, honor the vulnerability in the moment, and then address it in the, if something needs to be addressed, address it when it's not in the moment. That's really the best thing you could do. Or ask the right questions. So, like, what do you need? What do you need me to do? So you just expressed to me this vulnerability. What do you need from me in this moment? How can I help this? Do you, or, again, like I said, or just be the lap.
Mm-hmm.
Be the lap, the lady. Just be the lap. Like,
be the lap.
Be the lap.
Hashtag be the lap. Let's do that. Scoop said hashtag be the lap, ladies.
Sometimes we know what we saying is somewhere in the clouds, and we just needed to say it and hear it and process it and go, all right. Because the truth is, for all of the men are not emotional stuff that we say, that's not true. Men are very emotional. We just bottle it up. So it's just, we need that moment sometimes. So I think it's just to really say, like, how women can prepare for it is listen. I think y'all do it, because we see you all do it with your sons all the time. And I think that's one of the frustrations that a lot of us have, is that we see you get real present for the vulnerable moments for your son. So it's like, oh, you can do this. You just can't do it with me. Oh, okay. So I think.
So question for that. Question for that, because that is good. That is good. Now because earlier you mentioned also how in vulnerability you mentioned the father dynamic of that, of how you still want to be held in this space even though I'm not there yet. And now we are comparing the sentiment of how a mother responds to her son while being vulnerable. Do you think that because men are chasing the father perspective, the father image in the eyes of his woman, that it can sometimes make it harder for him to be harder for her to recognize vulnerability in you the way that she sees it in her son? It's often hard as a woman with a man who is, I love my husband, but he is not the one who's just going to be out with the feelings. Like, he's not that guy. Most men aren't. I knew that. But it is often, I've missed that mark that you talked about above. I've missed that mark because I think he's prepared his vulnerability away. Like, I have to prepare this thing to the point where I can't get hurt when I share it. And that is not helpful. Sons don't do that. Sons are gonna show up. I messed up, mama. Like, hey, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, Mama. I messed up. I need your help. You know what I mean? And it's clear. It is clear that he needs me in this moment. Now I need to turn this on and show up this way. It's hard for us to break through all of that, especially when you 90% of the time operate as this guy. So now when you show up this way, it might take me a moment. So now when I need some recovery time because, oh shit, that was you. Oh, you needed me. Like I need you to be able to accept that and be like, oh, instead of, oh, no, see, I tried, and see, here we go. You know, that can't now become my punishment. Me missing a new thing cannot become my punishment now that I've realized this is what you're showing me.
So let me answer the flip side of it. So
yeah, help me with that.
The question was, what do ladies need to do?
Yes,
to prepare. But I think the part that we didn't talk about was, what do men need to do? And that's where that comes.
Bring it on to me. Yeah.
As a man, to prepare for that, the first thing I think we have to do is, first of all, we got to heal. Because if we don't heal from, and by healing, I'm referring to healing from this idea that masculinity is defined by the lack of emotion or the lack of vulnerability. We have to heal from the fact that, again, that just like you might be seeing us through the finished lens of your father, that we are processing who our father is and our father's expectations of a perfect man who is imperfect as well. And so if those conversations, or if we haven't seen that, if I have never, in 41 years, I have never seen my father cry. I have never seen, as a matter of fact, my stepmother, they've been married 21 years now, has seen him cry one time. And that was at his friend's funeral. I had already left. And I was like, dang it, y'all didn't videotape this? Because in my mind, he never cries. So me, as a man who is at this phase of my life very in touch with my emotions, to cry feels like I'm not matching up to this expectation of my father, who in my eyes is the epitome of masculinity.
Yeah.
So and for men who don't have fathers, we piece people, we piece fathers together. So now we pick a man. You know, it's
a coach or something.
It's a coach. It's somebody on TV. It's, you know, it was Bill Cosby. It was, you know what I mean? Like, which is why some people have some problems, by the way, accepting what he did. But anyway, I digress. Like, all of these things that we piece together. My grandfather was never in my father's life, and he told me one time, he said that in order to realize what a father was, he says he took Billy D. Williams off the Court 45 commercials and Shaft off of TV, and this is how he decided the kind of man he wanted to be. So can you imagine? I'm putting together
birds decoded
aren't even real people. I'm determining what my masculinity has to look like. So as a man, I have to heal. I have to say that, listen, it is absolutely okay for me to be vulnerable and to cry. So I can do that as a man. That's the part that I have to handle. I have to, and I cannot. And then when I do that, the reason why I have to do that is because then I can recognize that you missing a moment was just that. It doesn't mean that it is the same. Again, go back to the church scenario. The same grace and the same mercy that I need when I am trying to figure it out is the same mercy and the same grace that you need. But if we're not having those conversations early on or all throughout the dating process, now when we get into marriage and we're trying to have these deep conversations, like we're trying to swim in 12-foot water and we never swimming in the 4-foot water.
Yeah, we don't have a doggy paddle going. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you just threw me right in the deep end. So we got to have those, practice those. So preparing also looks like having conversations and dealing with conflict all along and practicing what vulnerability looks like. Babe, I'm about to tell you something that's really uncomfortable for me. So I need you to be prepared for this conversation. This is uncomfortable. This is something I've never told anybody before. This is something that really is that I'm afraid to say. So I'm about to tell you this. You ready? Yes. Okay. Then I can say it. And then now you know this is a moment.
Yeah.
So when this comes back up again, and this is where the intimacy comes in, then now all of a sudden you're prepared because you know, oh wait,
this looks like
he just told me something new. Well, I wonder why you telling me for? Probably because this is something that makes him uncomfortable, and now he's being vulnerable. Okay, I'm here. And then for men like you were talking about, like with with your husband, with James, who by the way is my hero. I want to say, that it's not so much in what we say. At that point, it becomes about what we do, because you all know our patterns. Y'all know our things, and y'all know good and doggone well when whatever area that is that we're insecure or moment we need to be vulnerable about, we change. And y'all know, like, wait, hold on, something ain't right. He ain't moving the same. What's going on? And so it becomes then at that point about trying to show up for the change, and unfortunately sometimes y'all have to do a little investigating, but that's
yes, we do have to dig sometimes. Yes, we do. Yeah, because it's that's something that I have, often we talk about and I'm glad that you mentioned it twice and in different scenarios. Like you gave the contrast of that, because, and especially off of the conversation we had before about mothers and their sons and how hard it is to let go. We, especially, there's so many factors that come into play in the creation of a person, whether it's male or female. But when you are creating a man who is set up, who comes onto this earth with the expectation of all of these things, you know what I mean? Like women are created to support, and the men are the doers of the things that are being supported. So there's a lot of weight on that. So when we shift the dynamic from son to husband, from, primary caretaker to now I'm a support system mother, the mother relationship there, that dynamic is hard to shift, but it's all that you know. So when you come into this relationship with this woman who is not your mother, but is someone who is supposed to still add to your emotional well-being in a similar fashion, all of those things can get crossed up and confused if there has not been proper work done. So like that's hard for someone coming into it with the desire to be that person, or even the man with a desire to share that with her and just not knowing how. So I love that you gave the examples of the disclaimer, hey, I got something to talk about. Like, this is the thing. Like, this is a hard thing.
I'm king of the soft landing. To me, that's a sort like I need.
It matters. It matters though, because that's self-care. That's self-care for you, so that you can set yourself up to not be further traumatized after you've shared this thing. That's care for your spouse, because you have not set them up to be blindsided with your thing that is deep. If it's deep enough for you to bottle up, you know what I mean? Her being the person that's supposed to care for you and love you. And yes, we still are protectors of, even if it's just little you got all of us. Well, I got you. You know what I mean? That's how we as wives feel. You know what I'm saying? So like you have to prepare the union for the new thing, so that you can continue to go forward. And I think sometimes we shy away from the disclaimer, like it's not necessary. It's absolutely necessary for hard things. Like you don't have certain conversations via text. You don't say certain things without the disclaimers. Like, if you know what I mean? This isn't just a, hey, what we having for dinner conversation. You know what I mean? How was your day conversation? I need you to tune in. Like, I need you to look for the things that I might not even say right now, because I'm afraid of this conversation. But because I'm not afraid of you, I'm safe with you, I'm giving this to you. I am afraid of this subject, but I'm safe with you. So can I give you all of this and it still be okay afterwards? And I think that's for men and women, but I think it's harder to do that for men, because y'all keep y'all's things deep, because there's no it's rare that you feel that you've given the opportunity to share it with someone. Like, that's supposed to be the good thing. Like, that is the goal, to find that person you can give all of your fear stuff to. You know what I mean? So like, I get that.
And I would let me also say too, I think so I can see somebody like with a certain personality who, like, I know there's some people who are not who in their responses are more aggressive. So that's not, what am I trying to say? That just because that in that moment, like, I think that what we have to do is also think about hearing or saying something in the way that the person hears it and receives it, not so much in the way that we're used to saying it. And sometimes a person, as a man who by nature, by nature, I do not like conflict. So as a person who by nature doesn't like conflict, me giving that disclaimer does absolutely protect me, but sometimes it's annoying to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, you have to, I have to be able to be like, okay, I can't spend a whole lot of time dilly-dallying around this. She needs to just hear me say it. And she's okay with me saying this. But I still need to let it be known this is a sensitive one. So
Yeah.
don't mess this up.
Mm-hmm.
And she also needs to recognize that okay, he don't like conflict. So he telling me that, all right, this ain't the time to, or let me respond. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Off answer turns away, you know what I mean? Like, because I know if I don't handle this right,
yep,
we ain't gonna get this check. Because think about this: the deeper we hold something down, the more it hurts us.
Yep.
If I bury this vulnerability deep inside of me, you messed it up means it's gonna hurt just as deep. So,
I had to learn this personally in my marriage, y'all. You know, I am I'm very nurturing and I'm soft and affectionate and all of that when it's time to do that. Like, very much so. Like, but when it comes time to, I'm very mission oriented. Like, I am very mission oriented and I am a very critical person. Like, I have learned to own it. It is a trait that the people who love me love it because it has saved a lot of us from a lot of stuff. But it is also, I think I posted yesterday, like, what would be my disclaimer? I was so shocked that nobody showed up with like, hey, bro, like, it's gonna be her.
I was like, nah, I'm gonna let scroll on.
Sometimes put your feelings in your pocket because this is just gonna tell you, she loves you, but she gonna tell you exactly what it is, and it is out of love. It is how I protect. Like, I'm gonna break through all the things that you might not have because you do love this thing so much. But because I love you, I'm gonna look for the stuff that your love won't let you see, and that is not always good. In a marriage, that's not always what's necessary right now. And I had to learn that and how my delivery and how I'm like, oh, we doing a thing? Okay, so what's your plan? What's your outline? Oh, okay. Oh, you don't have one? No worries. We can get you an outline, So like this is me. Like, which is why we jam so well. It was an instant fit because I was like, oh, yes, okay. So yeah, he speaks my language. You know what I mean? But in a relationship, that's not always, in a romantic relationship, that is not always ideal. Yes. So I did have to learn that how you deliver things, when you deliver things, what your face looks like. Lord, what your face looks like matters. If he's going to continue to talk to you, you know what I mean? Like, that matters. And I used to say, well, I still did what you, like, the fact that I showed up and did the thing, like, I was there, like, I stayed, like, those, to me, like, that, those are some of, I am a, act of service is one of my primary ways of showing love. Like, I might not always like it. I might not be 1000% on board, but if I show up, like, if I'm putting in my labor, my work, if I'm giving you my energy, oh, I'm in there. You know what I mean? I'm not going to kiss you on your forehead every time, but I'm there. I got you. I'm going to fight for your thing. I'm here. But that's not always enough. That's not always enough.
I think it's more crucial. Like, that's where I was talking about in terms of having these conversations and knowing this stuff early on.
Yeah.
Because knowing early on, like knowing this, or, even if you do what you do, to turn around and be like, I know that wasn't the softest answer, but this is, like, it's like, oh, if I don't know you, then I don't recognize that as this is how you love me in this moment. Right. Whereas if I later on, if I'm a healed person, if I'm, if we've gone through this a couple of times, then like I said, let me give him my soft landing before I go and fix this. Right. Because I'm not gonna let you go out here looking bad.
I'm not gonna have you out here looking crazy, right?
I'm like that too, because, like, we've had conversations. I'm like, they told me I wasn't. What they say, I wasn't empathetic. I'm like, I'm very empathetic. You like, no, not when you.
Not really.
No, not when you get in the like, so it's like now I got to turn. And I said it yesterday in one of my meetings. I was like, y'all, this is a church meeting. I'm sorry. Let me turn off the business brain. Let me turn on the church brain. Let's pray. Because in my mind, I'm like, we got to fix this. We got to do this. We got to do this.
Time to get her done. Yeah.
Meeting over, and they're like, we're not gonna pray. Oh, that's right.
Let's pray.
Let me pray. Because I'm like, in my mind, I just don't. It doesn't always. So I think that's where getting to know each other comes into play, because then like, I know your heart now. So a person whose heart I know gets the space to say something bad or wrong, or and I'm like, that was a moment. She didn't mean that. I can filter that through the fact that I'm secure, that he loves me, and that even if they responded wrong, all of those things that I needed, that security, that safety, that that covering, is still going to be present, because this is how that person loves. But if you don't go through that, if you don't build that intimacy, if you don't have those, if you don't say, hey, when you said that hurt my feelings. Yeah. I don't like when you do that. Next time, if I do be vulnerable with you, I'm gonna need you to be a little more softer, because that's,
and you deserve the space to say that. Like, you earned that. You don't. Your person does not get to then tell you. You don't get to correct them on how you showed up for them. Like, you can't be a part of a relationship and you cannot be corrected. Yep. I needed you. That didn't really happen. Next time, I'm gonna need you to show up a little bit different. Like, this is how I need this to happen in the future. And you have to say that. Like, it is your responsibility to communicate to your person when they didn't do well. You do it in a way that allows them the space to do it right the next time. I was listening to Brene Brown this morning, one of her daring leadership or something like that. She's got another podcast that she's gonna make me download Spotify again, and I'm about Spotify, but that's where it's at. So I have a feeling it's going to be there. But she talked about skilling people up to provide good feedback. We have a lot of opinions about a lot of things, but rarely have we done the work to skill ourselves up to provide honest and clear feedback, so that the person actually can take something from it to actually be better. There is a difference in feedback and just flat out criticism of a person. And it's easy without the skill set, without the empathy, the skills in place to be able to do it and make it so that person still feels like you give a damn when you're done. We don't really do that work in between the vulnerable moments to make sure that they can be ready for that. And I think, and especially with feedback, everybody's always got feedback. I'm here for you, like, oh, you want an opinion? Feedback and opinion are not the same things.
Different things.
Not the same things. And it's very important that we learn those differences in our relationships, because that's why sometimes our spouses shut down, because you are good at criticism, not so much at feedback.
You got a critique for everything.
Yeah.
I'd be like, man,
feedback is designed to make the thing better. Whatever it is, better at the end.
Yep. Here, all right, comment. Shaquita says, I just want to be trusted, to see the smoke before the fire comes. If I tell you there is smoke, don't take offense to it as if I don't believe in you. Trust that I have enough wisdom to not watch you crash and burn. And I don't want to go down with the ship. I can save the ship.
Woo! Yes.
I agree with that.
It's hard to convince me that I should be okay with you going out and crashing and burning.
And you should
why?
You should not.
I just need to do this. But why though? When you cannot? Like, why?
Yeah,
you cannot?
I always, and I always say this. I say that I think that we should allow people to fail at the level that they can afford to fail.
Yes.
If we can't afford to fail, like,
don't do that.
If we can't afford to fail, this no, you can. I always tell, I said you can fail with $100 and we'll be all right. But $10,000, my spirit can't handle that yet. Like, I just can't.
Spirit, this relationship, these walls,
right?
People on the other end of the phone, nobody can handle this walls, right?
Exactly. So I think I absolutely agree, Shaquita. I think that's part of. Anyway, that's a part of another discussion that I posted about earlier, where about your woman being your rescuer. But y'all don't want to, you know. I pander to women, so
you've been preaching real good these last couple of days.
I pander to women. Let them tell it. Trenton said, well, your mom says, you are my child, no doubt, because the way my delivery is set up.
Listen, I'm the mild version of my mama. Like, light. Like, you have no idea.
I believe it. I so believe it. Trust me, I believe it. Trenton says, I agree with this because a woman's tone, delivery, and expression is everything when it comes to getting her point across. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. I think, you know what? So Trenton, to your point there, one of the things that I hear more, I was going to make a post about this.
Say, does it hurt? Like,
was men saying, and ladies, if you ever hear your men say, don't talk to me like you talking to your son. I'm not your child. Like, I think that is a thing that tone, and men do it too. We might not say it, but we treat you like you're our daughter. But that's something that's huge. But I also recognize that we could be a little sensitive too.
See, you did this third reference to the child.
Yeah.
This whole damn conversation we've been talking about the comparisons of the children. I mean, I know what you're saying, but do you understand how these things align when having this entire conversation?
Let me also say, I don't like comparing.
Okay.
I don't like comparing men or women with children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like doing it because women are not children, men are not children. So let me just.
But no, I'm just saying, like, this conversation that we've been having, the way that we naturally, like, we might not like to do it, but we naturally compare these relationships and we connect behaviors to these relationships. So it's often said when a woman responds to a man in a way that he does not like, where it could be condescending or spoken to him like a child, but we're talking about relationships. We're talking about reactions to behaviors that evoke certain responses. So because you are an adult does not change the fact that you are reacting like a child. So in the moment, you can still be an adult acting like a child. So if you are behaving this way, and in the moment I catch that and I'm responding, my tone is like, you know what I mean? Because you acting like a child and I'm a mama and my reaction is to respond like a mama. You can't now come at me like, oh, don't talk to me like, well, stop acting like my damn child. Like, that is how you get in those back and forth. So we have to be clear when we say that it is not I'm belittling you or making you my child. I am responding to your behavior, which is reminiscent of these children. So this is the reaction that you get based on the behavior. Now, if we want to talk like adults now, then you're going to get a totally different adult tone now. We can talk like adults now. We adults now, we grown. Now let's talk like that. But we, let's be honest about how those types of
here's where that's problematic. That's problematic because now when we do that, we will now enter into a crazy cycle.
Right. But I'm just saying, that's how it happens. Like that, that is based on behavior. Now, if everyone needs to correct behavior, cool. But we're not going to sit here and say like, it's just like, because that gets turned into, well, she talks to you crazy. Well, if there are times she's not talking to you crazy and now all of a sudden there's a crazy talking happening, we need to look at the entire reason why this crazy is taking place. If you are behaving in a way that
absolutely,
we have to be owners of our stuff.
Absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just saying that in this situation, that there has to be somebody has to remedy the situation instead of continuing continuing the cycle of talking to
you see what I mean? I am my mother's daughter.
Oh, I love it.
I love you, Mama. I swear I do. I get it, honest.
Oh God. Ooh, it's 10:50. All right. Yeah. My point is, somebody has to stop the cycle so that therefore it does not descend into something that it doesn't need to be. That's my point. The point is, let's, turn up the cheek.
Y'all, Keith Turner is my daddy. It's a family reunion on the.
I'm
He
good.
knows
I'm used to
Tracy
it.
very well.
I'm used to it like you are, sir.
He is. He is.
Oh, my God. Oh. Ooh, y'all think that's bad? Y'all should see what my sister get mad at.
Oh man, see,
Ooh, that baby.
bees that way sometimes. Somebody screenshot that and send it to me. Screenshot that face and send it to me. There's a meme in that face's future. Shanae says, if you are still here, send me that. Get that playback. Send me that, sis.
Oh, all right, we gotta wrap it up. Oh, we gotta wrap it up. Go ahead. You didn't do. We'll talk about elegance by design either. By the way. Oof.
Oh, we did. So yes, elegancebydesign.com is where you need to go to get all of your goodies. Please go swipe a new picture. I'm sending you. That's what I'm doing when we off the show. I'm sending you a new sexy shea butter picture. But anyway, I hope my mom and dad are watching this episode.
I just need that one because it pops up.
You good? I'm just teasing. So yes, sexy shea butter is what you need in your life for your hair, your skin, your everything. Okay, sexy shea butter is going to get you right, and it does have 20. It does have a little bit of sunscreen. I do suggest that you add it, use it as a addition. It should not be your solo dolo sunscreen, but Shea does have natural sunscreen in it, up to 20 SPF. So you can be protected to do your little lightweight running around out here in these streets with the sexy shea butter. It is all natural. It is whipped, light, fluffy, delicious. Get you some, okay? Sexy shea butter, elegancebydesign.com. If you are in the Oklahoma City area, you can also swing on by the Back to My Roots Marketplace out here in Del City, and you can pick it up. There's like a little bit of everything and a little something that ain't even on the website yet. So yeah, it's worth the drive. Going out to Del City and get you some of that. My final thoughts for this week is I would really, really encourage everyone, man or woman, to go back and watch this show. Go back, hit the replay. Go back to last week's show. Watch the replay. We got this conversation started, and it's obviously been enough to spark enough for us to have a part 2 so that we can go a little bit deeper. And we won't have a part 3 next week, but we will continue to chat about this. We'll chat about these subjects in the future. We are really, really trying to deepen these conversations, change the way that we look at how we interact. We have been so caught up in this back and forth and who's right and who's wrong and whose fault and you did it, I didn't, all of that. It is just time to solution. It is time to find a middle ground and say, you know what? We could be better though. How do we get better? Not you could be better. We could be better. We got to get better at our feedback. We got to skill ourselves up. We're going to use the scoop to help skill ourselves up so that we can provide good feedback and solution some of these things that ail us.
Absolutely.
Have a good week, y'all.
Absolutely. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all had me cracking up all night. Thank y'all very much. As we said, listen, we have decided who we are. So we are the solution. We're the solution people because, like she said, we're interested in us getting better together. I don't care what nobody say. I need my black woman. So
yeah.
Well, I'm going. I'm going. You going? Let's just continue to get better and be. And I think the best part about vulnerability, really, as a man, the best part about vulnerability is that we don't have to have all the answers.
Yes,
that is a stress and a strain that no one should have to carry on their own. So if you have somebody who is able to complement, to partner with you, and I'm saying men and women, someone to feed you when you're hungry, in all dimensions. So why would we not want that? So I'm just encouraging us again, to try with the right person. Like try vulnerability. Try it, especially as a man, brothers. Try vulnerability because we need one another. So just like we need y'all to keep watching. So y'all keep watching. If you're not a part of the scoop group, find us. If you haven't liked us on social media, like the page at Real Scoop Show. Thank you, Trenton.
Thank you, Trent.
Mr. Turner. If you all have not, if you're not following us, do that. And yeah, we got some other things coming too. So y'all make sure you keep in. Last but definitely not least, once again, reminding you all, if you are not busy tomorrow night, join the Scoop on Clubhouse so that we can have this conversation about building wealth in the Black community. We need y'all listen. Money answers all things. That's in the scripture, just in case y'all want to know that. So it's not something that we don't need. We need it. So let's talk about how we can get it. Let's talk about how we can make more of it. How we can leave some for our children. Join us at 7:00 Central Time on Scoop, me and these three men, so we can talk about that. And then, of course, if you are interested in advertising with us, then please do today. Packages for all prices and all businesses. So get with me so we can get your business on our show. And of course, what's up, Kels? Good to see you. So y'all have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. Thank y'all, Q. Of course, I absolutely appreciate you and love you, and am thankful for your wisdom and for what you bring, for your perspective. I'm so I'm proud of you. Like my sister is growing, and I'm so like seriously.
You provided a safe little low place for me in my soapbox. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Like I am really
no, this is a joy. I ain't going nowhere. I got you. I ain't going nowhere. This is yes.
You can't go nowhere. I'm like,
right.
Can Q come out and play?
let me holler at you real quick.
Can Q come out and play tonight?
So I said I need 2 hours out of 7 days. I need 2 hours to go play and have adult conversation. Let me go do that. Oh man.
All right. I don't think they have anything else. Apparently, our song don't want to play tonight, so I'm fine with that. I'm tired with that. All right. Well, we're gonna end it like that. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Mama.
Good night. Appreciate y'all.
All the mamas. Thank you, both of the mamas tonight.
Right. Y'all have a good day.
See you.
Thank you, Shanae.